Hey guys, OG Albina here, and today I will be showing you my attempt at a Pokémon X hardcore Nuzlocke using only fire types. Fire is a great offensive typing, packing a ton of, well, firepower. However, the typing lacks good defensive utility and is weak to many common types, like water, ground, and rock, so we'll have our work cut out for us. Pokémon X actually has a decent number of fire types available before the post-game, giving us the potential for 9 total encounters, since we can only get one of either Rotom or Chandelure, and one of Heatmor or Torkoal. If you aren't familiar with hardcore Nuzlocke rules, they'll be in the description, but in short, we can only catch the first fire type in each given area. If a Pokemon faints, we have to box it for the entire run, and we can't overlevel the next gym leader's highest level Pokemon. We're also prohibited from using items in battle. Before we jump into the run, I would really appreciate it if you would both drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It's really easy and it helps out smaller creators like me a ton. Also, check me out on Twitch where I stream these runs live. Link in the description. Alrighty, let's do this. We start off by picking our starter, who will obviously be Fennekin. We name him Frank, and after a catching tutorial, we can already grab our second encounter in Fletchling. We can't use her yet, but at level 17 she'll evolve into a Fletchinder and become a flying type. Thankfully, we have 2 whole more encounters before we fight the first gym leader in Viola. First, we catch a Pansear in Santaloon Forest and name it Texas Pete, and then catch a female Litleo on Route 22 and name her Cholula. Let me know if you guys have figured out our nickname theme yet in the comments below. With that, we can take on the first gym. Viola is actually seen as one of the more difficult gym leaders in X and Y, as our Vivillon has a very high base stat total for this point in the game. However, she shouldn't be a huge issue for our mono fire. We lead off with Cholula and click Workup as her Surskate clicks Water Sport, weakening our fire move's power. Because of this, we click Headbutt the next turn and knock it out after taking a weak quick attack. Next up is Vivillon, and after a few workups and headbutts, we take it down and get our first badge. Now in XY, there's a huge gap in between gyms 1 and 2. But there are a few encounters we can grab beforehand. After beating up Professor Sycamore with our Litleo, we can grab a Charmander and Charizard X, which will be very important later on. Then, after proceeding through the story a bit, Charmander, Fletchling, and Fennekin all evolve. We then beat up some goofy Team Flare members and progress to Silage City, where one of our biggest challenges of this run, Gym Leader Grant and his rock types, are residing. Before doing so, we have a few more housekeeping items to take care of, such as evolving our Pansear into a Simisear with a Firestone, catching a Houndour and naming her Crystal, and evolving her into a Houndoom. With that, we make our way into the gym. I did my absolute best dodging trainers in here, but got caught by one random trainer with a Rhyhorn, Nosepass, and Onix, and man, was it scary. Thankfully, we made it out deathless, but this was the beginning of a trend in this game. Some of the random trainers were way tougher for our team than any of the major gym battles, rival fights, or even Team Flare fights. After that heart attack, it was time to take on Grant. Now going into this, I'd already come to terms with the fact that Texas Pete had to go down, as any strategy attempting to not lose a Pokemon was extremely risky and difficult to pull off. I lead off with Simisear and click Protect to scout and see what Amora wanted to go for. Thankfully, it went for Thunder Wave, presumably because I'm faster than it. Luckily, I equipped a Cherry Berry so that I could shrug off the paralysis and 2-hit KO with Rock Smash. Next up came in his Ace Tyrant. I went for a Yawn into a Protect after taking a big hit to put it to sleep, and spam Rock Smash until he went down. Miraculously enough, Texas Pete refused to go down, mostly due to Tyrant getting max sleep turns, and we were able to take it down with some Rock Smashes. I have no idea how we got through that one deathless, but I'll take it. The game continued to progress and I run into Karina and what's obviously just 2 men in Pokemon suits. For some reason they attack us, but we're able to knock them out with a few Flame Bursts from Simisear and head into the dreaded Reflection Cave, where I once again try to avoid trainers, but due to my impatience and my special Uncle Jimtendo Speed Up 3DS, I run into a trainer with a Throw and a Hawlucha. The Throw gives us a bit of trouble because it knows Bulldoze for some reason, but after some thinking we're able to take it down no problem. The real issue is Hawlucha. I run some calcs and see that the normal moves that Hawlucha has shouldn't be able to 2-hit KO Litleo or Charmander, so I can use a combination of those two to take it down. I elect to go Litleo first, and of course, has Rock Tomb. Why do you have Rock Tomb? Freaking Rock Tomb Hawlucha. I have nothing for this Pokemon. Even after my Oranberry, Litleo is 2-hit KO'd, so I have to pick a sack, and unfortunately that's Texas Pete. Even after the huge amount of work she put in. She does tank a Karate Chop and get off a Flame Burst, but then falls to a Rock Tomb. My next best hope is hoping that Charmeleon's Dragon Rage can take it out from the range it was at, but it lives on what has to be 1 HP. Sack time part 2. There's no way I can sack Charmeleon, as Zard is an instrumental for us winning this run. So I make a calculated decision to sack Cholula. RIP. From there, we could take out Hawlucha with a quick attack, but at what cost? After a relatively easy fight against Serena, mainly because her Frogadier spammed quick attack of all things, and we're able to take on Karina in her gym, where thankfully her team has no grown adults in Pokemon suits. We lead off with our Eviolite Breaks-In and Protect into 2-hit KOing the Mienfoo with Psybeam. The reason we led Breaks-In over Fletchinder is because Machoke is next and it has Rock Tomb, which would blow our bird sideways. Breaks-In is thankfully able to take it with its defense and knock it out. Lastly is Hawlucha, which can't do much to Fletchinder, especially after we get a clutch Flame Body burn. So we take it down. Boom, third gym down. Unfortunately, we're not done with Karina just yet. We have to fight her one more time, where we make her adults in fursuits fight to the death. Since ours comes out on top, she lets us keep the Megarine and her Lucario. Don't worry, I threw him right in the box. Creeps me out too. On our way to the next gym, there is an in-game trade for an Eevee, which we do get and evolve into a Flareon for our 5th team member. We then have another rival fight. Gee, I sure hope there aren't too many of those left in the game. And then we head on to the hardest gym in the game. Ramos and his grass type. Ah, who am I kidding? We smash through him pretty easy and get our 4th badge. I'd give more commentary, but it really was just me mindlessly clicking buttons. On our way to clean up the power plant, we grab our next team member in a Slugma, who we named Louisiana. He won't evolve until the next gym, so he'll just have to sit in the back of the party and look cute for a while. My pup Aegon makes an appearance. Yes, this is a measly attempt at bribing you to follow me on Twitch for my cute dogs. And then we take out the Team Flare bosses, in the power plant. I haven't shown these fights yet, but it's mostly because they're pretty darn easy. Later on, the last Lysander fight is scary, so at least show that one. Oh, and during that time, our Breaks-In, Fletchinder, and Charmeleon all evolve into their final forms. Our next gym challenge was Clemont, but with our new Megarine, we have an instant win button versus a lot of these gym leaders and Megazard X. However, on the way up, I made a huge bonehead play. I was fighting an Ampharos, and after taking a Power Gem and Confuse Ray, Flareon was pretty low. But instead of switching out into our Delphox, I risked the confusion for some reason, got punished, and went down. There's really no defense to this play, it was just a dumb one. Thankfully, Clemont wasn't a big issue. After a Swords Dance, we could bulldoze his Heliolisk and Magneton, and Rock Tomb his Emolga for an easy win. We make our way to the next gym, whose typing happens to be Fairy, a great matchup for us. After evolving Louisiana into a Macargo, we take on Leader Valerie. I could just Megazard.exe this gym, but I decided to give Talonflame a chance to shine. We lead off against an extremely passive Mawile, and after setting up a few Swords Dances and a Flame Charge, we sweep the routine with ease. Only 2 badges to go. On our way to Anastar City for the second gym, we can grab our second to last encounter in Rotom or Litwick. Rotom is a pretty rare encounter, but after changing my Uncle Nintendo's 3DS to Tuesday, I'm able to find a Rotom after a few soft resets, catch it, change it to Rotom Heat, and of course name it Taco Bell. We went Rotom over Chandelure because despite it being a great Pokemon, Chandelure doesn't help us with the huge water type weakness that we have, while Rotom does. I'm hoping it ends up coming up clutch for Seabolt of the Elite Four. Would you believe me if I told you I lost another Pokemon to another random trainer? In Frost Cavern, on my way to valiantly save Abomasnow, I ran into a trainer who had a Rock Slide on their throat, and I went hard into Talonflame onto it. What is with this game and random rock coverage on fighting types? Beyond this, the area was easy, but man was that frustrating. Anastar Gym was next, and you guessed it, Megazard X. I simply set up a few SDs, then Shadow Clawed through Sigilyph, Slowking, and Meowstic. Easy money. Side note, Anastar's Gym has such a cool design. Might be one of my favorites in Pokemon. After smashing Olympia, no, not like that, what's wrong with you? I get a message on my Holocaster, and I still can't believe they named it that. This told us that Lysander was basically the Pokemon version of, he's a very bad guy that wants to blow up everyone that's not in his gang of poorly dressed adults. As a sadly dressed child, we obviously need to put a stop to this. After mowing through the Team Flare hideouts and Lysander a few times, we get to take on the big bad man himself one last time. But this time, he has a mega freaking Gyarados against our mono fire team that can outright sweep us if we aren't safe. For this fight, I lead Zard and I actually don't Mega Evolve turn 1. This is because I need to Swords Dance twice, and Mega Evolving would take away our resistance to fighting. This means Mienshao could pretty easily 2-hit KO us with High Jump Kick. Thankfully, I can get off my 2 Swords Dances, Flame Charge up, then make swift work of his Pyroar, Mega Gyarados, and Honchkrow for the win. I know the second Swords Dance seemed risky, but we needed it to OHKO the Gyarados guaranteed. With those shenanigans out of the way, we can finally head toward the 8th gym, after of course taking care of a few more things. We get our final encounter in Heatmore, beat up on Sycamore and his trio of starters, and then have to go through the Rival Battle Gauntlet, which can be pretty tough because they don't heal you after Shauna. Game 1 I lead off with Macargo so I can lead it next game versus Talonflame. I Lava Plume after having it take a bit of chip from Rocky Helmet, get a crit, and knock it out in 1. Next up is Goodra, who's obviously going to go right for an Earthquake, so we pivot into a Zard to avoid it. We then Mega Evolve and OHKO the Goodra with a Dragon Claw. Lastly is Chestnut, so we pivot Delphox to take it out with a flamethrower. Next up is Tierno, and he leads off with the aforementioned Talonflame, who we can get a Toxic off on with Magcargo. I then switch into Rotom and start substituting and double teaming to put me in a good position versus the last two members. After Toxic takes out the Talon, Product comes in, which we can OHKO with a Discharge, and then we can OHKO the Rosary with an Overheat. After a quick heal, we have one more fight with Trevor. He leads off with a Raichu, so we switch into our Taco Bell, who walls it. And then we begin to sub and double team up. After getting the +6, we take out the Raichu as well as the Aerodactyl, and then last is Florges, who we can 1v1 pretty easily with all of our evasion boosts. Our last hurdle before Victory Road is Wolfric, the 8th gym leader, who specializes in ice types. Obviously, he's a bit of a pushover. We set up a few Calm Minds with Delphox and sweep through his team with flamethrowers. Now this is where things start going downhill, and they start going downhill fast. Kind of like those big snowballs you see in movies, rolling down a hill at crazy speeds, getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. Our first blunder was the trainer blocking Victory Road. I had no idea they had a Carbink and a Kingdra. They set up Stealth Rock turn 1 as I switched out of my Zard into Heatmore, who could 1v1 the passive Bulky Rock with a combination of Toxic, Stockpile, and Swallow. Next up was Kingdra, and with Rocks up, nothing could take a hit on my team. I was unfortunately forced to sack off Heatmore just to get a free switch into my Zard, so I could knock out the last two members. Not too bad, right? Well, just you wait. Black Belt Marcus woke up on that fateful morning and said, I'm gonna ruin Owen's day. He has one Pokemon. One. A single Machamp. I led my Zard knowing this thing might have a Rock-type move, but also knowing I can definitely live one. I Dragon Clawed for a chunk of damage, and Stone Edge crit OHKO. That is so bad. This one crit here essentially ended our run in my mind. Zard was a free sweep through the entire Elite Four. Boom. Gone to a random trainer. You thought that was it? Nope. Forced double battle time. We go up against a few trainers with a Gallade and a Medicham. I lead Rotom and Delphox and elect to go for the kill on Medi as they can OHKO Rotom and might also randomly have Rock Slide. After doing so, Gallade clicks Night Slash and crits my Delphox. I cannot make this up, y'all. I have to beat the Elite Four with a Houndoom, Magcargo, and Rotom. Not only that, our next rival battle seems almost impossible. Greninja can rip through us now. We have no neutrality to Water Shuriken and Zard anymore. Plus, Zard was consistently sweeping through her after an SC every single battle. I decided to go a Houndoom route this time. I lead it off against her Meowstic and click Protect to avoid a Fake Out. I then alternate between Nasty Plot and Protect until I get it to +6 special attack, all the while staying healthy with leftovers. From here I can take out our members with +6 Dark Pulses or Sludge Bombs. Thankfully we got past that, but we have one more hurdle before the Elite Four. An unavoidable trainer with a Gigalith. I can't OHKO with anything on my team, which is basically a guaranteed sack. I decided Magcargo is the least useful in the Elite Four, so I lead it to get some Earth Power Trip and then let it go down. RIP soldier. I clean up from there, but I now have to beat the entire Elite Four with a Houndoom and a Rotom. I make some preparation and grab some TMs and items I need, and head in to take them on. I decide to take them on in order of least hardest to pretty much impossible. First off is Wickstrom and his Steel types. My plan is Houndoom once again. All I need to do is get off a Substitute and a Nasty Plot, and the game is ours. The reason I need a sub up is so that I can avoid a hit from Probopass as it has Sturdy. Thankfully, we get this off as Klefki elects to go for Spikes a few times, and we can sweep through it, Probopass, Scizor, and Aegislash pretty risk-free. Next up is Malva, who's a bit more RNG reliant, just like the rest of these fights. We essentially have to lead Rotom, get off a ton of double teams and subs, and Toxic/T-Bolt her team down. We had a few really close calls against a Stone-Edging Torkoal, but we were eventually able to take them down one at a time. Next up, we take on Seabold and his water types. My plan for this fight is to basically slap a Pasho Berry on both of my Mons and hope for the best. If you don't know, Pasho Berry resists the damage that water type moves will do if they are super effective. I lead Rotom and immediately OHKO Clawitzer and Gyarados with a Thunderbolt. Next up is Barbaracle, who just barely lives a T-Bolt and pops our Pasho Berry with a Razor Shell. We can take it out a few turns afterwards after a few full restores. Last up is Starmie, and I am freaking out. There's no way I can beat Drasna with only one Pokemon. I look and see my Houndoom can actually outspeed Starmie, so I switch hard into it as Starmie light screens. The next turn I Dark Pulse for over half and chew up a crit Surf due to our Berry. The next turn I'm able to take it out and beat the Water type Elite Four member. Now all that stands between us and the champion is Drasna. Versus her, I lead off with Pasho Berry Houndoom and set up a Nasty Plot. Because of my Pastro, I can actually live 2 hits and throw off a big Dark Pulse, leaving the Dragalge in the red. Now this next turn, I should have Nasty Plotted again, but I completely blanked and just clicked Dark Pulse again, as she full restored up. You'll see why that matters soon. After I take out the Dragalge, out comes Drotagon. Luckily enough for me, my Houndoom is HP Ice, but it just misses out on the KO, and Drotagon knocks us out with a Dragon Tail. If we would have Nasty Plotted again on the heal turn, we could have knocked it out easy. From this point, I double team up with Rotom, sub up, and knock out the last 3 members with some T-Bolts. 1 Pokemon left against the champion and strongest trainer in the Kalos region. I could narrate this battle for you. That wouldn't do it justice. Take it away past me. I might be the most powerful Nuzlocker of all time. Flying Press, it immediately hits, but it's actually not very effective. Wait, I thought it was neutral. Okay, we get up 2. 3. 4. I think I'm gonna sub here. Stop hitting! Okay, I think it's actually in my best interest to Thunderbolt. Okay, they miss. That's huge. That's huge. We knock it out. I'm gonna Toxic this first turn. Don't hit. Who hits? Okay, why are they hitting so much? 43 divided by 164 is 26%. We can sub. We can sub. Miss. Huge. Huge. 5 double teams. 6 double teams. Ain't nothing I can do now but pray. Thunderbolt. Because it might knock it out with Toxic. Oh, we just knocked it out. Kingdra. Toxic. No way. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. Miss. Sub. Even if they hit, we get another sub here because they're going to full restore. Wait, I'm a bozo. I thought I had enough. Oh no. Sub. You have to miss. No. No, no, no. I could have gotten a Toxic off. Miss. Miss. 40 divided by 164. That's 24%. That's 24%. I need one more fucking miss. Come on. Give me the sub. Miss. Thunderbolt. Okay, they full restore. Don't pair. Don't pair. Actually, don't pair. Okay, it didn't pair. Thank God. Okay, I didn't think it was full restore range, but it's fine. Toxic. For real? Cool. There's nothing I can do. I have to hope it misses. Thunderbolt. Die to Toxic. No! She hit on the last one! No! Poorgeist. We gotta hope it misses. We gotta hope it misses. Does Phantom Force go through sub? I can't get behind a sub here. Oh my god. Anything. They hit. Thunderbolt. We knock it out. Running out of subs too. It's fine. We just need a couple. I'm gonna T-Bolt here. Light Screen. Wait. Throwing, 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 throwing. Sub. I just need them to miss a million hits. The only attacking move is Blizzard, I think. Toxic. Blizzard and Thunder, which I don't think break my sub. So even if they hit, I think I'm actually in an okay spot. Don't break. It did break. Son of a bitch. Okay, I actually don't want to kill it here, so I'm not... It comes down to this. I don't know. It's in my best interest to just T-Bolt, right? It's in my best interest to just T-Bolt, right? Because I can get Paras. No more healing. Para. 32. Can't run. Come on. Oh no, it was a full restore. Shit. Okay. There's another one. We always sub here, it's not Hyper Voice. Thank God I subbed. Only one more T-Bolt. Shit. Oh no. We have to Toxic here. Last full restore. How do you have so many full restores? Oh no. Oh no. Do I have enough moves? We were so close. Just a few more T-bolts, or just a few more misses, or even just a few more unbroken subs, and we could have accomplished the impossible. I know we didn't win, but I'm super proud of this run, and I had a ton of fun, so I had to make a video on it. I hope you guys enjoyed as well, and if you did, again, consider dropping a sub as well as a like. Also, peep me on Twitch, where you can see me do these playthroughs live. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.